Hello and welcome, Stephen Hart from the Grinning Frog here. All right, what we have here is issue 52 of the Oracle. And as you can see, I haven't actually opened it. So this is one of the ways that it comes from the printers. They usually pack it slightly better than this, I would say. But all right, they look all right, don't they? That is rather nice artwork from Dean Spencer. A little dot on that one. I'll keep that one. All right, so inspired by. This was the issue that didn't have a specific theme other than something that had inspired me to produce something. So let's just have a look through. Okay, we've got our John Waterhouse picture there. Kenny the Punk. I do wonder what Kenny's up to these days. You have an article then on inspiration and an inspiration exercise. I talk about the trademarked story dice and also talk about, well, an alternative, which is here in terms of you can use these pictures instead of them. Get some dice that match the colors of the dice that you can see here, and then you can mix and match the dice that you roll, see what pictures come up, and then the challenges come up with a story based on that. If you do that regularly, I guarantee that you will find ideas coming faster and easier, not just in relation to this, but generally when you're creating your roleplay content. Some examples. I went through an example there. Look at negative inspiration. You know, when you are irritated by something, it can actually be a really good thing. I like to go to the movies. I like to go to the cinema specifically, and I like to see pictures, movie pictures. And sometimes when they're not very good, it can be really inspirational. So I would, bear that in mind. You see a terrible film, think about what was terrible about it and how would you improve it? Or how often do you make those kinds of mistakes in your content? There is my elf version of Servalan from Blake 7, who I talk about in the next page, a couple of pages. Some adventure ideas. That's good. It's always dangerous when you do printing that goes over 2 pages. So I want these 2 columns, these 2 tables to line up because they're all part of the same table. It's a bit risky because they can be slightly juxtapositioned. It looks pretty good from what I can see here. My nod to the Pinky from Doom. Love that picture. Love the Pinkies. Got 3 different versions of them there with D&D stats. You got the woman. I figured if you had a magical demonic creature that was a hybrid of various other creatures, you would probably have somebody behind their creation. So that's what that's who I present with Maradu. Got some ideas for her. Some plot ideas for the Pinkies themselves. Wizard of Oz. And this is one of the benefits that the subscribers will see to the art packs that they'll get, because this picture back here is a nice yellow brick road picture, but obviously I've had to put some text over it so you don't see it properly. They will get that. They'll get, in fact, this particular issue, almost every image that you're looking at was given to the backers as a digital file. Because the stretch goal was hit, but subscribers will automatically get the digital files come 2026. Inspired by Doctor Who, couple of points about NPCs. Signature weapons, starting off with Xena, Warrior Princess, with their chakram. Tron and Krull. Not the best film in the world, but interesting weapon. My inspiration from Raymond Chandler. It's quite self-reflective, this issue. So I found myself thinking, oh yeah, that is where that came from. So you've got 30 different NPC secrets going up in different levels of sort of severity and importance. And then we go back to the myths. So we got some Greek myths coming in here. And again, I'm pleased to say that that is printed well. A picture that is on the windowsill behind me, in fact, painted by a chap from the Lead Adventurers Forum. Then we've got Norse mythology with the Gungnir, is it pronounced? Not sure. The Spear of Fated Oaths. Quite pleased with that. That's a sentient magic item, that one. And then A Wizard of Earthsea, which I read many, many years ago. It was one of my first fantasy books I read. I think I read Tolkien, then I read... In fact, I might have read it before I read Tolkien, to be honest. But it always struck a chord or two with me. So I went back to that. And then, and this is going to be a very obscure reference for folks, but Red Fox was a limited edition, limited run British comic. It wasn't limited edition, it just didn't run for very long. I think they got something like 38 issues out in total. I thought it was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. You'll find a letter from me in issue 12 if you track that down. Probably quite embarrassing in hindsight. I was fairly young at the time, relatively so. And then full circle, where we take a look at Dean's, well, we look at artwork, and specifically, I talk about Dean Spencer, who is the chap who did the front cover picture and who I subscribe to on Patreon. And he produces some really fantastic artwork. And the key thing about his artwork that I like, and the key thing I would recommend that you always try and do with your artwork that you create or the artwork that you use, is find images that have story in them, that really somebody can look at it and think, oh gosh, what's happening there? What's he stealing? Who's he stealing it for? Look at that image. I love that image. It's fantastic. The cracked jug. Go back a page. We've got the skeleton in the desert with the water bottle just within reach. I love it. It's so evocative. And that is what you want with your art. And that is issue 52.